Hi, Wycliffe Barrett here, X-Plane Dedicated. Today we're going to talk about the Aviation DC3. I'll see you after the trailer.
Dublin, November 180 Bravo Bravo, is it?
November 180 Bravo Bravo, good afternoon to you. Report your altitude?
2,000 feet on 1014 Bravo Bravo.
Bravo Bravo, descending for 60, so climb not above, initially not above 4,000 feet on the QNH 1014.
4,000 feet, Bravo Bravo.
Correct, what's your requested routing?
Let's go and then direct.
521 ready, cleared direct today.
The DC3 by Aviation is a beautiful rendition of this aircraft. I remember seeing them when I was a lot younger and even seeing them fly out of Cardiff Airport. They've been taken out of service now due to health and safety here in Europe, but there is still a fleet of them flying up in Alaska by a company known as Buffalo Airways. This rendition and this livery is of Buffalo Airways. Let's get into it, have a look, and I'll tell you why I like this particular pay-wear aircraft. So here we are, xaviation.com, and the cost of this aircraft, $39.95. A little bit expensive, but when you look at the exterior modelling of this, you might be able to understand why it's a little bit expensive. Here we are, DC3, stand 6 at Cardiff, and just taking a little scroll around, having a look at some of the exterior modelling here of this beautiful aircraft. What I particularly like is the blending, certainly on the engine cowling. If you look at the engine there now, you can see the cowl flaps open and the intercooler up on top and below, and just to the left of that there, I think that's exhaust. I was going to say it's pitot, it's exhaust. It's really, really well designed and really well constructed. Look at the bulb underneath. I don't know what that might be. That might be an aerial or some kind of sensor there, but the crafting on it is absolutely sublime. And it's very rare to find wheels that are so round. I mean, these are round. There's no edges, no straight lines on them at all. Getting into the cockpit then and just having a quick shifty through the cockpit views here. The overhead, one of the simplest overheads I've ever seen, and you've got your 6 main instruments right there, throttle levers, everything is where it should be. Just going to have a quick walk through here. This is the crew quarters. These planes used to fly across the Atlantic and do some really long flights. You click on the door, but the door doesn't open, so you just go through the door into the cabin, which is very nicely appointed with some luxury seating. Don't forget, these aircraft were quite large for the time, not forgetting they were first built in the Second World War, and so the seats are a little bit bigger than usual. The overhead is really quite straightforward, quite easy to use. We'll turn the batteries on, and generators, etc, etc. It's really easy to start. You just need to concentrate on that set of switches there, and then turn the ignition and push that button up. Oh, you hear it catching. Oh, failed. Start again. Try again. There we go. It's running. And with these radials, these big radials, you need to allow them to warm up a little bit. Just come outside, you can see that we've got the one engine has started. You must remember to take that red highlight off the cursor when I'm filming. I always forget and leave it on. I do apologise for that. There you go, you can see the left engine started. Turn the ignition switch. Give it a bit of belt on the starter. There we go. Throttle up a little bit, and there we have it. Beautiful, really nice sound set. Now I know that this model from Leading Edge Designs and sold by Aviation is a little bit old now. It's getting a bit long in the tooth, but it's got everything you require. The DC3 is not a complex aircraft. That's one of the reasons why it was built with simplicity, was that it was built during the war and was used by numerous pilots. Look at these dials, the scratches on the glass and everything, really showing its age. We don't fly this in Europe anymore. The DC3 was grounded in Europe because of health and safety reasons, but there are still a few about, some in private hands, and of course you go to RAF Cosford or Duxford, you'll see a number of these. This plane was built during the Second World War and was used as a troop carrier, paratroop carrier, and then after the war and during the Berlin airlift, DC3s were used to fly in and out of, I think it was Tempelhof, bringing in supplies to Berlin. And then after that, it was pushed into service in lots of airlines around the world. And of course, the only one that I can think of that is still operating is Buffalo, out in North America. Buffalo Airlines out in Alaska. They've still got theirs. We've got a fleet of them. And of course, oops, this livery is based on that. On takeoff, you can't pull it up like a jet, you just got to let it come off the ground nice and gentle. We're going to try and do a circuit here at Cardiff, and as you can see, the weather is not that good. I'm using FSGRW, so that's Flight Sim Global Real Weather. You can see the visibility is pretty poor as I pull away here on runway 30. Just going to do a right-hand circuit at Cardiff Airport. Peering out of the window is really, visibility is not good. I'm only around about 1,000 feet, 1,200 feet of that in this circuit. There's the airport behind me, climbing just a little bit. Now, what you've got to be very careful with this aircraft is you do not fly this 100% on the engines. If you do that, if you fly 100%, there's the BA hangar, 100%, you will burn these engines out in no time at all. And when I say burn them out, they'll just stop. They'll just stop turning, and you're in a glide, and you'll probably be flying a dead stick, as they say. So continue down here. I was hoping I was on a heading of 1-2, but you know, it was roughly 1-2. The weather, I was concentrating so much, but coming up to the coastline, and I know where I am visually, so I'm okay. We're just coming over Barry docks a little bit. The docks are a little bit to our left, so maybe a little bit too close to Cardiff Airport. There we go. Let's make a course correction, because really we should be over the docks as we do this before we make our turn. There's the airport behind me somewhere, so I know where I am. We'll just get the gear down. That's what that sound is. There's lots of lovely little sounds in this aircraft, and it flies like a dream. That's Sully Island, just out of the left window there, Sully Island. So I can make my right-hand turn. This is just going to be a short approach, and here we come. I've turned onto a heading of 30 to make that final approach into the airport. There's the runway. Just about to see the leading lights as I come in. The visibility was shocking. It wasn't so much wind, all things considered, as it has been windy the last few days, but get some flap. The flaps on this, the light barn doors, they're huge. Just coming over the threshold now, aiming for the numbers, aiming for the touchdown zone rather. Weather clears a little bit, and here we go. Bump. One bounce, there we go, one bounce, and that's not too bad. Keep it up on its wheels for a little while, and then down we go. Anyway, $39.95. I love this aircraft. I bought this aircraft because I do like the DC3, and I had it in the other sim as well. So there we go, guys. The Aviation DC3. I think it's a beautiful aircraft. It's fabulous to fly. Although you've got to be a bit wary, especially with those engines. You fly at full throttle for any length of time and you're going to burn those engines out. It's a lovely aircraft. Okay, it's a little bit expensive, $39, but if you can afford it, then, you know, have a look. I think there is a freeware one on xplane.org. Have a look and you make up your choice. I'll see you all soon. Cheerio. Since I recorded this video earlier on today, we've had a video has been released on Facebook regarding Matt Davies, aka Belynz, and the copyright action that's been brought against him by IVAO. The reason why they brought this action is because apparently he has been using the MTL model set in a VATSIM environment and not an IVAO environment, and they've taken exception to that and have brought a copyright strike against him, which effectively closes down his YouTube channel because he cannot now make videos longer than 10 minutes in length. I personally think that this is not the way to do things in our community. IVAO have acted in a heavy-handed manner, and I suspect there are many more YouTubers who fly in FSX on VATSIM using the IVAO model set, and they've gone for Matt Davies because he's got a large following, he's got over 50,000 subscribers, and they've gone after Matt Davies, aka Belynz, just to make an example of him. I'm not happy about it. I think it is the wrong way to do things. Perhaps they should have just written to him and spoken to him. I think that would have been a better way of doing it. I fully support Matt Davies and his YouTube channel. I hope that in the future they will be able to sort this out. All the best, Matt, and you take care.